If you're over 60, that healthy fruit in your kitchen might be quietly damaging your heart. I know that's a shocking thing to hear, but after sitting beside too many seniors in hospital beds, people who truly believed they were eating right, I've learned this simple truth. Not all fruits are safe as we age. What once nourished your body can now silently work against it. You see, after 60, your body changes. Your heart becomes more vulnerable. Your kidneys don't process minerals the way they used to. Your metabolism slows down. And that means even natural, refreshing fruits, the ones we've trusted our whole lives, can turn into hidden threats. It's not about fear. It's about understanding how your aging heart works and making smarter, gentler choices. Because yes, fruit can still be part of a heart-healthy life, but only if you know which ones to limit and why. So in this video, we're going to uncover 7 fruits and drinks that may look healthy, but could actually raise your blood pressure, disturb your heartbeat, or strain your heart silently over time. Most people over 60 have no idea this is happening. If you're watching right now, leave a comment below and let me know. Have you ever been surprised to learn that something healthy was actually harming you? Just type yes or no. I'd love to hear your experience. And don't forget to subscribe to Health 365 and hit the bell icon so you never miss tips designed just for your heart, your health, and your stage of life. Now, let's start with one fruit that's sitting on millions of kitchen counters right now and might be doing more harm than good. Yes, bananas. That soft, sweet fruit we've all trusted for decades. A go-to for breakfast, a snack after a walk, or something we toss into smoothies without a second thought. But here's what most seniors don't realize. Once you're over 60, even this familiar fruit can quietly put your heart at risk. Bananas are known for their potassium content, and potassium is essential. It helps with blood pressure, muscle function, and heart rhythm. But here's the catch. After 60, your kidneys often don't clear potassium from your body as well as they used to. That means when you eat too many high-potassium foods, especially overripe bananas, which contain even more concentrated potassium, it can build up in your blood. This buildup is called hyperkalemia, and it's more dangerous than it sounds. It doesn't always scream for your attention. It whispers. You might feel a little more tired than usual. Your heart might flutter or feel like it skips a beat. You might feel weak or off balance. And all of this is easy to brush off as just getting older. But it might be your heart signaling that something's not right. Worse, if you're on medications for blood pressure, or if you've been told you have any level of kidney impairment, even mild, your risk is even higher. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up bananas completely. Just be mindful. Choose firmer, less ripe bananas. Those, still slightly green, are better. Eat half a banana at a time if your doctor says it's safe. Pair it with high-fiber foods like oats or nuts to slow down how it affects your system. And most importantly, pay attention to how your body feels afterward. Because what once was harmless might now be too much for your heart to handle. Have you ever noticed feeling tired or a little off after eating a very ripe banana? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear how your body responds to certain fruits these days. And now, if you thought bananas were the only surprise, wait until you hear about the next fruit. It's sweet, juicy, and sitting in almost every American fridge right now. Let's talk about grapes. Small, juicy, sweet, like nature's little candy. You rinse a bunch, pop a few in your mouth, and suddenly half the bowl is gone. I get it. Grapes are easy, delicious, and they feel like a healthy choice. But for your heart, especially after 60, they may not be as harmless as they seem. Here's why. Grapes are high in fructose, a simple fruit sugar that gets absorbed quickly into your bloodstream. Unlike apples or berries, grapes don't have much fiber to slow that sugar down. So when you eat them, especially in large amounts, you get a sugar spike that puts pressure on your heart. And as we age, our metabolism slows. Your liver, which used to process that fructose efficiently, now struggles. What happens instead? That sugar gets converted into triglycerides, a kind of fat that builds up in your arteries. Over time, this can clog your blood vessels, raise your cholesterol, and quietly increase your risk of heart disease. But that's not all. Grapes are addictive. It's hard to stop at just 5 or 6, and every handful means another surge of sugar. That sugar forces your heart to beat faster, your blood pressure to rise, and your body to work harder than it needs to, especially if you're already managing high blood pressure, diabetes, or cholesterol. I've had patients tell me, "But I eat fruit, not cookies." And I have to gently say, not all fruit is created equal, especially when your heart is aging. But this doesn't mean you have to say goodbye to grapes forever. Here's what I recommend. Eat only a small handful, not a whole bowl. Try pairing grapes with a protein like a few almonds or a slice of cheese to slow the sugar absorption. And if you're replacing meals with big fruit bowls filled with grapes, please reconsider. You may be unknowingly pushing your heart too hard. And now, if you're someone who loves watermelon, especially on hot days, there's something important you need to hear. Because this summer favorite may not be as gentle on your heart as you think. Watermelon. Just the name brings back memories. Summer picnics, backyard gatherings, sweet slices under the sun. It feels like the perfect, guilt-free treat. Cool, refreshing, and over 90% water. What could possibly be wrong with that? But if you're over 60, especially if you take blood pressure medications or have heart concerns, you need to hear this. Watermelon might not be as harmless as it seems. Let me explain. Watermelon contains a natural compound called citrulline, which causes your blood vessels to relax and widen, a process known as vasodilation. Now, that can be great for younger folks, but for older adults, especially those already on medications that lower blood pressure, this sudden drop in vascular resistance can be too much. Your blood pressure can crash without warning. I've seen patients who had a light lunch with watermelon, then went for a short walk, and suddenly felt dizzy, lightheaded, or even fainted. They thought it was the heat. But really, their hearts were struggling to keep up with the sudden shift in pressure. But there's more. Watermelon also has a high glycemic index, which means it can spike your blood sugar quickly, and then cause a crash soon after. That roller coaster puts stress on your heart, increases inflammation, and raises your risk for arrhythmias. The sweet taste masks a strong effect. Blood sugar surges, heart rate jumps, and your body, especially an aging one, has to fight to stay stable. Now, I'm not saying you have to give up watermelon forever, but here's how you can enjoy it more safely. Stick to a small slice, not a whole bowl. Avoid eating it on an empty stomach. Never pair it with blood pressure meds without knowing how your body reacts. And be especially cautious before physical activity. Watermelon might make your blood pressure drop at the worst possible moment. Have you ever felt dizzy or weak after eating watermelon in the heat? Share your experience in the comments. It might help someone else notice a pattern in their own health. Now, if you think watermelon is the only fruit pretending to be a safe summer delight, wait until we talk about the next one. Durian. Some call it the king of fruits. Rich, creamy, and indulgent. Almost like dessert straight from nature. And if you've grown up enjoying it, it might feel like a special treat, even something nourishing. But here's what most people over 60 don't realize. Durian doesn't just taste heavy, it is heavy, especially on the heart. You see, unlike most fruits, durian contains a surprisingly high amount of saturated fat. Yes, the kind of fat we usually warn people about in bacon or processed meats. Just one serving can deliver nearly as much saturated fat as a hamburger, And that spells trouble, especially for an aging cardiovascular system. As we get older, our arteries lose flexibility. Our cholesterol levels tend to rise more easily, and our metabolism slows down. That means your body can't process fats like it used to. So when you eat high-fat fruits like durian, your LDL, bad, cholesterol climbs. Over time, that cholesterol starts hardening the arteries, a process called atherosclerosis. The worst part? Many seniors think, well, it's fruit, so it must be healthy. But your heart doesn't care whether the fat comes from a steak or a fruit. It reacts the same way. And there's more. Durian can also raise your internal body temperature, which might not sound like a big deal. Until your heart rate spikes, you start feeling hot, anxious, short of breath, or restless. And if you're already on heart or blood pressure medications, this internal heat can create a perfect storm of symptoms that leave your body struggling to cope. Now, am I saying never touch durian again? Not at all. But be careful. Keep portions very small. A few bites, not a full pod. Avoid eating it regularly. Listen to your body. If you feel hot, anxious, or your heart races after eating it, don't ignore those signs. And next, we're moving on to a fruit that looks completely innocent, golden, juicy, and loaded with tropical sweetness. But don't be fooled. For many seniors, mango is another silent stressor on the heart. Golden, juicy, soft. Just the sight of a ripe mango brings back memories of sunshine, family meals, and tropical breezes. It feels healthy. It is fruit, after all. But for those of us over 60, it's time we take a closer look, because that sweet, sun-ripened mango might be silently working against your heart. Here's why. Mangoes are loaded with fructose, a type of fruit sugar that, in small amounts, isn't necessarily harmful. But as we age, our bodies lose the ability to process fructose efficiently. Instead of using it for energy, our liver turns it into triglycerides, a type of fat that builds up in our blood. These triglycerides can raise your bad cholesterol, cause plaque build up in your arteries, contribute to high blood pressure, reduce oxygen flow to your heart, all of which add extra strain to a cardiovascular system that's already more vulnerable after 60. And it doesn't stop there. Mangoes also have a high glycemic index, which means they cause a fast spike in blood sugar. For seniors, especially those with slower insulin response, this sudden sugar surge can trigger inflammation, an elevated heart rate, and fatigue, or even a crash later in the day. That's not just a sugar rush, it's your heart being pushed harder than it should be. Many of my older patients tell me they eat mango slices daily or blend them into smoothies, thinking they're making a smart choice. But when we look deeper into their rising blood sugar, cholesterol, and early signs of heart strain, the mango habit is often part of the picture. But here's the good news. You don't have to cut mangoes out forever. Just enjoy them with caution. Eat small portions, not full bowls. Skip the dried mango and juice. Those are sugar bombs in disguise. And always be mindful if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or high cholesterol. Mango can easily throw your numbers off. So let's get wiser, not stricter. Read labels. Ask questions. Listen closely when your body whispers. And next, we're looking at something even smaller than mango, but far more fiery. These little fruits are sweet, addictive, and for some, dangerously overstimulating. Let's talk about lychee and longan, two little fruits that seem harmless. Lychee and longan. They're small, fragrant, juicy, something you can pop in your mouth without thinking. A few here, a few there, maybe after dinner or while watching TV. They taste light and refreshing. But if you're over 60, these tiny treats may be stirring up more than just sweet memories. Here's why you should be careful. Lychee and longan are packed with glucose, a fast-acting sugar that enters your bloodstream almost immediately after eating. And for seniors, that quick surge can be too much for your body to handle. When your insulin response has already slowed with age, even a handful of these fruits can cause sudden blood sugar spikes, a rise in blood pressure, an overstimulated nervous system. That means your heart starts working faster, your blood vessels tighten, and your body goes into what feels like a mini fight-or-flight response, without any real danger present. But there's something else many people don't realize. In traditional Eastern medicine, lychee and longan are considered heating fruits, and there's science behind that. These fruits can activate your sympathetic nervous system, the part responsible for stress, alertness, and elevated heart rate. The result? You might feel hot, restless, anxious, or even have trouble sleeping. Some people experience palpitations, night sweats, or a strange, jittery feeling after eating just a few. And most never think to blame the fruit, but your heart feels it. Every beat, every surge. If you're already taking medication for blood pressure, heart rhythm, or diabetes, this sudden stimulation can tip the balance, pushing your system into overload. So what should you do? Eat lychee and longan in moderation, maybe just 2-3 pieces at a time. Avoid them completely if you feel overheated, anxious, or experience a racing heart after eating them. And always pay attention to when and how you eat them, especially at night or during hot weather. Now, let's talk about something small but powerful. Not a fruit you chew, but a sweet drink. Many seniors sip each morning, thinking it's healthy. Fruit juice may be the most deceptive heart hazard of all. A cold glass of orange juice in the morning. Maybe apple, grape, or even a heart-healthy blend from the grocery store. It feels like a smart choice. After all, it's fruit, right? But if you're over 60, fruit juice might be quietly working against your heart, day after day. Here's the truth most seniors never hear. When fruit is turned into juice, its fiber is stripped away. That fiber is what helps slow down the absorption of sugar in your body. Without it, all you're left with is concentrated sugar, and your body absorbs it fast. In fact, just 1 glass of orange juice can contain as much sugar as a can of soda. And while soda clearly looks like a treat, juice wears the disguise of being healthy. That's what makes it so dangerous. You drink it thinking you're doing the right thing, while inside, your blood sugar spikes, your arteries become inflamed, and your heart has to work harder to keep up. As we age, our insulin sensitivity declines. That means your body doesn't process sugar as well as it once did. So every glass of juice floods your system like a sugar bomb. The result? Fatigue, lightheadedness, heart palpitations, and over time, higher risk of arrhythmia, hypertension, and artery thickening. Even more concerning, these constant sugar surges trigger inflammation, a leading factor in plaque buildup that weakens your arteries and makes your heart more vulnerable over time. I've had many older patients tell me, "But I drink juice instead of soda." And I gently explain, it may look better, but inside, your heart can't tell the difference. So what's the better choice? Eat your fruit whole. Chewing activates digestion more gently. Skip bottled or boxed juices, even 100% natural ones. They're still loaded with sugar. And if you do drink juice, keep it to a small amount and pair it with a fiber-rich meal to slow absorption. Now that we've uncovered these 7 fruits and drinks, there's one final, important truth to share. Because sometimes the greatest danger to your heart isn't just what you eat, it's what you may be ignoring every day. You've just learned how some everyday fruits and drinks, ones we've trusted for years, can quietly put stress on an aging heart. It's not about fear. It's about being more aware, more intentional. Because after 60, your body doesn't respond the same way it used to. What once felt healthy might now cause blood sugar spikes, blood pressure drops, or silent inflammation. The most dangerous thing you can do isn't eating one piece of fruit. It's ignoring the signs your body is giving you. Fatigue, fluttering heartbeat, dizziness. They're not just part of aging. They're your heart asking for care. So let's get wiser, not stricter. Read labels. Ask questions. Listen closely when your body whispers. If today's video helped you, let us know in the comments. Just type 1. If you didn't find it helpful, type 0. Your feedback means a lot. And please like, share, and subscribe to Health 365 for more heart-smart tips made just for you. You're not too old to protect your health, and it's never too late to start.